Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse gave an interview to CNBC in which he disclosed first details about the company's intentions for its initial public offering. The company has chosen to temporarily halt the sale, even though it was exploring expanding into international markets for the initial public offering in response to what Garlinghouse called a hostile regulator. The case between Garlinghouse and the United States SEC started in 2020 and is still not over. He stressed how unattractive the idea of trying to go public in the US with an antagonistic regulator who had authorized the S1 filing was. By drawing parallels between Ripple and Coinbase, Garlinghouse brought attention to the difficulties encountered by businesses in complying with the SEC's regulation. Among Garlinghouse's many criticisms of the SEC's handling of cryptocurrency regulation was his description of Chairman Gary Gensler as a political liability. After the new chair of the SEC takes office, he implied that a listing in the US may be reconsidered. Although Garlinghouse did not rule out the possibility of an IPO in the future, he did stress that it is not a top priority for Ripple at the moment. At the heart of the conversation was the liquidity of the company's shares. Garlinghouse said that Ripple has repurchased $1 billion worth of stock, giving investors who had been involved with the project since its start 12 years ago access to their money. In light of recent developments at the SEC, Garlinghouse has stated that it will reevaluate the decision to go public. He reassured stakeholders that Ripple's priority is long-term sustainability, adding that the IPO is still an option that would be evaluated as the company moves forward. My belief is that Gary Gensler is engaging in the same behavior repeatedly, and he believes that he will succeed in court on some level. The chief executive officer of Ripple says, drawing attention to the SEC's recent losing streak. His legal struggles continue unabated. The CEO of Ripple called a Securities and Exchange Commission chair, Gary Gensler, a political liability in his reaction to the complaint. The publication date was January 16th, 2024, according to CNBC. This statement was made by Garlinghouse in response to what he perceives as Gensler's persistent anti-crypto crusade. According to Garlinghouse, one of the definitions of insanity is continuing to do something with the expectation of a different result each time. The SEC's commission filed charges against Binance, Coinbase, and Kraken, three prominent cryptocurrency exchanges, in September of last year, claiming that the exchanges promoted unregistered securities on their websites. There's been no change in the status of the litigation, claiming that Ripple and its personnel have sold XRP currency through unregistered securities offerings. The SEC filed a complaint against the company in December 2020. A significant victory for Ripple in the SEC lawsuit was granted in July of last year. A major victory for Ripple came when the court ruled that XRP does not constitute a security under the law. Furthermore, the SEC's October request for an interlocutory appeal was also denied. Within the same month, the SEC withdrew all outstanding claims against Chris Larsen, who is the executive chairman, and Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple. The remedies phase of the Ripple case has begun, and all discovery related to it is anticipated to be completed by February 12th. The filings that accompany this discovery are scheduled to follow. Meanwhile, Ripple has asked for an extra 2 days until January 19 to reply to the SEC's move to compel in a motion it filed not long ago. Plus, Ripple has announced that its CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, would be sharing the stage alongside Carolyn Defam, a commissioner of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Futures, options, and swaps are all parts of the derivatives market, which is regulated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, a federal agency. Crypto at a Crossroads was the subject of a seminar held at Bloomberg House in Davos. Tuesday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we will future-proof digital assets. On the same day as Garlinghouse and fam, the speakers will be announced at a Central European time. The event will be streamed live on YouTube. In 2024, there will most certainly be a large LFDD. The 54th annual conference of the World Economic Forum will take place in the Swiss city of Davos from January 16th, 2024. International organizations, civil society leaders, social entrepreneurs, and media members will all be present at the 5-day conference. The XRP community is ecstatic with Ripple's historic July 2023 verdict in the SEC litigation, which determined that XRP was not a securities. Much of the anticipation is due to the announcement that the CFTC commissioner will be joining Garlinghouse on a panel discussion. Cryptocurrency businesses have long held the view that the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and in particular, is a more accommodating regulator. Reason being, it has allowed crypto derivatives products like futures and options to be made and traded, and it views most cryptocurrencies as commodities rather than securities. A lot of people were quite interested in the September 2022 visit of the Ripple's commissioner to the headquarters of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. According to FAM, the stop was part of her educational trip. Presently, there is still a great deal of anticipation that XRP will be revealed to the complete globe. Furthermore, additional positive advancements in the cryptocurrency business will be made possible by the negotiations being led by Ripple's CEO and the commissioner of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Based on the data, the attitude towards XRP has gone worse. This is because following the failed effort to attack Bitfinex using the partial payments hack, the weighted sentiment has recently dropped to levels that are seen as negative. An article on X was released by the on-chain analytics firm Sentiment, who explained that the mood around XRP has grown more negative. The relevant indication in this case is the weighted sentiment. The sentiment balance and social volume are the two additional measures from which this indicator is derived. On top of that, experts predict a 24 to 100% rally for Dogecoin. The former monitors the mood on social media on any given subject. The indicator calculates this score by sifting through social media postings and using a machine learning model to distinguish between positive and negative sentiment. Social volume, a measure of the current amount of talk on any given subject on the major social media platforms, is another indication that is relevant to this discussion. The indicator takes into account the overall count of distinct posts or threads that include a mention of the topic in some way to arrive at this determination. Weighted sentiment balances the sentiment balance to the social volume, which is what it does. This goes against what was said before. In other words, a large sample size of positively skewed posts is required for the weighted sentiment value to increase. Otherwise, it will remain flat. This indicator's movement for XRP over the previous several months is seen in the following chart. According to the sentimental weighting of XRP, the metric's value has dropped dramatically in the last several days. When the weighted sentiment is highly positive, it means that a lot of people are talking positively about the asset. However, since then, the cryptocurrency indicator's value has fallen sharply and is now firmly in the negative zone. The fact that this shows social media users are now negative about the coin is not surprising. The latest effort to hack Bitfinex was unsuccessful, and as a result, XRP is seeing its most negative sentiment in years. An individual sought to use the cryptocurrency's partial payments method to trick the exchange into thinking the transfer amount was larger than it actually was, according to Sentiment, which has observed that this emotion has arisen during this attack. Actually, it was the same as half of the assets total supply that was in circulation. That's all for now.